ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a scene set in Vampire Requiem, a Requiem for London. It is a warm but cloudy and moonless night tonight. Audrey, you've had a hard time feeding. Slim pickings around Carthian domain. Not many immortals open to your wilds. How unfortunate it is then that you've been invited to partake in a little of that anarchy that Nanette preached on about the last time you saw her. She sent you a text. Asking you to meet with a friend of hers down in Arnfield.
Oh boy.
Just north of Little Russia, in Tottenham.
Thankfully, I only needed the one person, because I was already full up, so...
Alright. Then you begin making your way down to Edmonton and the southern side of Anfield. It's on that outer skirts of the borough, the southeastern side. Close to a few reservoirs and a leisure complex. As you travel through Arnfield, or at least head up through the eastern side, you notice that parts of it appear to have been redeveloped, or at least look more recent. It makes the the parts where urban decay has taken place a lot more prominent. Walking
Good
through
old gentrification.
Pardon?
I'll say good old gentrification.
Walking through these neighborhoods is very much like walking through two worlds. It's, well, it is true for much of London, but it is perhaps most pronounced here. Still, eventually you make your way to a small high-rise. Adjacent to a road that sits near a construction site. Looks like several more high-rises are being built in this area. And it is there, just behind this particular high-rise, that you see this person. A pale woman with shoulder-length black hair, covered in tattoos, black tank top, black jeans, piercing on her nose.
upon noticing the other person, Audrey's just gonna kind of give her like the little head nod, like, "What's up?" Just trying to see if like this is the person that they're looking for, or if it's just some random person that happens to be around.
She looks at you, has a fairly has a subtle a smile that has sort of the eeriness of the net, but a certain fierceness to it. Good night to you. You, Audrey?
Depends on who's asking.
Well, if you're playing dress up, you're certainly doing a good job. And you're not wearing a mask as far as I can see.
I'm just gonna shrug at her like, eh.
Alicia's the name. You can just call me Ali or whatever, I don't really care.
I'm sure it's a pleasure to meet you.
I suppose it depends on how I go about meeting people. This is definitely one of the more pleasant ways to meet somebody.
You know, not wrong.
I think we both have a lot less pleasant ways of meeting people.
Yeah, I don't think we really have time to get into that, though.
Well, suffice to say, if I wanted to be unpleasant, you'd definitely feel it. Although you probably wouldn't be seeing me.
Fair enough.
That's a courtesy thing. She'll lean back against the wall. You can see that on the back of the wall there's actually quite the lustrous bit of street art. You can see that Alicia does actually have on the belt around around her trousers. She does have a couple of canisters strapped to it.
Okay. Audrey will just kind of like walk over and I get like look up and like kind of glance at the art, and if it is of quality, just say to her like, might need to come have you paint up some stuff in Carthian territory sometime.
It's abstract. It's quite abstract. It's all black and white. It's depicting what appears to be a river and various things and people traveling down it. Or sinking into it. You're not entirely sure. The people appear to be those of, you would either assume wealth or class. And you can see symbols. You can actually roll me intelligence plus streetwise for the symbols.
See if I have a dice pool for that. Hey, I actually do. Excellent. Nice. I feel like I'm gonna have a night like Saskia. I got 2 successes.
2 successes for 3 dice isn't bad.
Yeah.
It's above average. You don't know what those symbols mean, but you've seen them before. It is part of... it is a kindred code. It's part of a cacophony, you think. But you don't know how to translate it. Ben probably could, if he came here.
Damn it, Ben.
You notice also that there is a symbol, small. It's very, very small, but intricately sprayed actually. One of the figures sinking into this black river is appears to be an Invictus or somebody that represents the Invictus. The whole art piece seems to have a pretty virulent distaste for any figure of authority. And it could easily be interpreted as a threat or a warning.
Does she see anything that could potentially depict the Carthians?
No.
Okay. She's gonna take note of the location and kind of some of the symbols, if she might be able to redraw them later for Ben, and move on to business. Not too phased by the art, since she doesn't feel like there's a large threat or warning to her own group.
I was told by Mom that you're interested in shaking things up a little bit around town.
The light bulb goes off in Audrey's head. Ah, yes. Your mom and I had a very interesting conversation the other night at work.
Interesting's one way to describe it.
I think your mom is a wonderful, pleasant person.
It's okay, she won't get offended if you say otherwise. But yeah, she's alright, I guess. She hasn't lost touch of the ground yet. Ticking the months away until that happens. But I think she enjoys the work too much to ever really forget.
Yeah, gotta have something to keep you centered, but may the odds be ever in your favor. She does the Hunger Games salute.
She'll mimic it. Yeah. Is that why you're here? Just center yourself? Not many people reach out to give us a hand.
Well, we're all here in the night together. We should, help each other.
Oh, okay, I get it. She smokes.
And also, your line of work seems to line up with what I generally enjoy doing.
I figured. Your boss is the man back up in Ealing, right?
Audrey holds up her hands for air quotes. Boss. Yeah. Dad seems to run the show in Ealing. The boss man, excuse me, counselor that I help is generally in Richmond.
Huh. Yeah, I know the guy. Well, in passing. We've never met. But we talk. He's a bit more skittish than me.
Yeah, we're working on that.
He's got that good old shadow paranoia. He's not wrong. There's always someone in this world out to get you. And he of all people knows that you'll likely never see them coming. But you're not here to hear me talk about your friend.
Oh, I'll talk about Benji, Counselor Smith, all night long. But you're correct. We do probably need to get something done, otherwise your mom will have some questions.
It's not time sensitive.
Well, the sun is.
True.
Audrey looks up at the sky.
True. And the sun is more hostile to me than most.
Mm.
But yeah. How much do you know about us? What we do? And why we do it?
Something, keeping the world from becoming stagnant, something, the spooky things that go bump in the night you can't see, something, enjoys chaos for chaos.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to interpret it, I guess. I do it because I enjoy it. And someone's gotta bring the suits up top down to size.
You got that right.
If it weren't for people like you and me, our worst nightmares really would come true. But contrary to what Mom thinks, we don't need spooky ghost stories to see how bad things can get when you just have one guy in charge of a crown and too much ego.
Andrew just kind of like smirks and laughs and is just like, yeah.
Unfortunately for the both of us, we ain't going after them tonight though. Kinda. But not really. Different kinda asshole. Kind of a lesson though on how bad things can get when we get complacent though. There's a depot near the reservoir. It's being illicitly used by a gang around these parts. Gun traffickers and the like.
Okay.
That's not the complicated part.
Oh, joy.
No, complicated. It's all quite simple, really. The weird part is who they're giving it to. Normally groups like this just sell on the black market to other gangs and stuff, right? You know the game.
Uh-huh.
I've been hearing on the cacophony that there have been some pretty odd movements by various firms, cheap air quotes, of this city. They've been all over the place recently. I'm sure you heard about that drug crackdown.
Yeah. Well, what's up with that?
They're not really hitting drug producers. I've hit a few. But the police seem really off base with it. They seem to be hitting all of the wrong people. But you know, that's either one or two things. That either somebody's pulling strings or the police have had their strings pulled. One way or the other. It's either deliberate or they're being misdirected for the masquerade, but I don't really know.
Or they're just as incompetent as everyone actually knows they are.
Yeah, well, that's what worries me. Because these trafficking groups, they've also been a bit all over the place. And apparently they've been supplying some pretty odd groups.
Some of our mutual friends, or...
I think it's kindred.
Got it.
Might be Invictus. Thing is, this is happening on crone turf, and well, I wouldn't mind if it were a crone. I am worried that the Invictus are making a play.
Oh, we already know they are. It's just what?
That's what we're gonna find out.
Alright then.
And we're gonna find out by putting a hole in a few people's heads. They deserve it.
Audrey just kind of nods her head like, yeah, okay.
Straight racing's one thing. She just sort of looks at you poignantly. Selling guns to serial killers in suits. Not really my jam. And I don't know why they're doing it. Because, well, people of that stature have more legitimate sources, right? Why engage in the nitty-gritty of crime?
The world may never know, but tonight we might.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the violent but masquerade-keeping mindset that I like. Although I wouldn't mind if you broke it just a little bit. Just to scare people. Give them a little spook.
We'll see what I can do.
You know, that's half the reason why I'm here.
Only half? Is it because I'm pretty? Audrey just kind of like faints. Not sarcasm, I guess.
You'll never know.
Darn.
But maybe you can get your friend Benji to find out for you. He's good at that, right?
He's good at something.
Wow. How about we get this show on the road?
Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
She'll walk up to you and then rather violently grab you and push you up against the wall of street art. And you feel yourself cut off from the world. Not too dissimilar from when Ben has used up his getting before.
Damn, you could buy a girl dinner first. Like, jeez.
I prefer to make people dinner first. But hey, if you want to be dinner, I mean, I hear there's this great establishment, like real nice.
Maybe if we make it through the night.
Super your type. I think you'd like him. Loves young, cute fledglings like you. Nothing tastes better, I hear. She smirks and begins walking off to the east side of the borough. Out of the sort of isolated back road of the high rises and out onto the main street.
Audrey just kind of squints at her and then follows.
Do you see a smile at you? Of her big round eyes that then go a sudden ominous black. She's just going to casually leap across the road. Right over a car.
I guess we're going fast.
Once she's at the other side of the road, she begins just jumping up a fire escape. multiple stories at a time. She does so in a very practiced fashion, as if she's done so before. It all feels very routine from what you can see. She doesn't even reach out to grab anything, she just has her hands in her pockets and jumps.
I'm gonna have to roll to do the same, aren't I?
How much vigor do you have?
I have at least 2 dots, I know that much. Let's double check.
Let's double check. If you have 2 dots, you should be fine. You can make these jumps. You're only jumping up a few stories at a time.
Okay, then yeah, like I have 2 dots, so we're good.
Yeah, vigor allows you to make very high jumps as a passive ability. I house rule it that you don't have to roll it, you just get the bonus.
Cool.
So, you make your way up buildings that are really just 2 or 3 stories tall. They're not that big. And she begins casually jumping between them, sort of walking towards the reservoir at the edge of Fabara. William Girling Reservoir. Alright, just give a sort of look at it. It's basically a very big lake. But there's a few storage units on its western edge. It's largely a walking and biking path that just circles the entire lake, really. It's split up into 3 sections. You're on the southern part, which is the largest.
Okay.
Once you get there, on the rooftop you happen to be on, you just get pointed towards a rather large but low warehouse. Can't be more than 2 stories. You can see that there are a few cars parked outside. And a few people heading inside, a couple of people holding the front door, or guarding the front door. They're all wearing suits, very formal. They're also, from what you can see, make me a Wits Plus composure check.
Oh boy, let's see. I see nothing.
Okay. Alicia turns to you and she says, you know, a lot of people around here think it's the Russian mob. It's actually just some of the locals. Well, locals as in Londoners.
Russian mob is a good cover story, though.
Yeah. Kind of funny, really. We're in one of the most diverse cities in the world. And we just use it as a cover to throw shit at each other.
Yeah.
They're gonna see how it's not gonna pay off for them. She like looks at her. She sort of taps the side of her black eyes.
Audrey just kind of nods her head, like, okay.
We see everything, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, you wanna go down there and make a racket?
Well, I don't have anything else to do until 6 a.m., so I guess I'm free.
I'm glad you kept your schedule open for me. Warms this cold black heart of mine. She places her hands over her chest.
What are friends for?
She sheds a single tear, which appears to be entirely black. Oily.
And you, Chris, you want a carrot or you need to go downstairs, mate? Okay, because, you know, me and Dad need to sleep as well. You haven't got the luxury of laying until 1 o'clock, are you, in there? Alright.
Okay. So, how many people are we looking at?
So about 4 head inside, 2 remain outside.
Okay. So, are you here to watch, or are you actually partaking in the fun?
Even if I didn't want to, I couldn't help but resist. That's alright, I couldn't resist. You said that one ago.
Fair enough. You want the one on the right or the left?
I'll give you both.
So generous.
She's gonna hop off the roof and start heading towards the parking area where the warehouse is.
Audrey's gonna go deal with some dudes.
When,
just...
when you start heading towards them, she's actually gonna like put her foot out just in front of you to like stop you briefly.
Okay.
And then she's gonna smile at you as she begins to cough. And spits out this thick black smoke. And what you see is that as it sort of begins to form and drift towards the suited thugs, you see that it absorbs the shadows around it to increase in size. It starts out as really just sort of barely enough to really surround the both of you, but it very rapidly begins to expand, engulfing the two thugs. You can still see clearly.
Okay.
And I'm going to BRB real quickly as you can decide what you're going to do.
Alright.
I'm back.
Excellent, friend.
So, we come to this. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go. Minor citation. So, what are you gonna decide to do? Oh, Audrey?
Oh, you were very quiet.
Sorry. What do you decide to do? Oh, what do you, Audrey?
Okay, that's a little better.
Okay.
There we go.
What do you decide to do?
So I assume I'm still in Obfuscate.
Mm-hmm.
And Obfuscate only drops when you interact with an individual with this level of Obfuscate that we're incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess Audrey is going to try and be smart and make a noise away from the door to try and lure the two guys away from it. Like kicking a metal pole or like throwing a rock or your general distraction.
Oh, well, they're currently suffocating in a dark, smoky cloud.
Oh, they're suffocating. Excellent. Well then, if that, I thought they just couldn't see. If that's the case, then I guess we're just gonna go up and put them out of their misery. Just nice.
Well, suffocating's a strong word, but panicking.
Are these mortals, or do they have an aura to them?
They do not possess a predatory aura.
Excellent. Then I guess let's just go up and snap some necks.
All right. You can hear that muffled sounds. Along the lines of, "What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?" You don't hear them clearly, but you're able to walk up to one and attack one.
Okay.
So you have a surprise attack, which means they don't get a defense.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to trigger your potence?
I do not have potence.
Vigor.
I just have vigor.
Lol, my bad.
It's okay. Wrong system. No, I don't think I'll activate it. I think I'll just keep it the persistent ability where it just raises the strength.
Okay. Keep in mind the persistent ability is not replaced by the active. If you trigger the active, the persistent effect still remains.
Right, yeah. It's just adding bonus weapon or weapon bonuses doesn't really help if there's no weapons.
Well, no, it basically gives your fists a weapon bonus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically just increases the damage you do.
Gotcha. Okay, I misread it then. Sure. Let's spend the vitae then.
Alright. So make me that attack roll.
Okay. Let's see. Do they have any defense?
Nope, it is a surprise attack.
Okay, that's right. Thank you. So, strength plus brawl plus vigor, so that's gonna be 9. Okay, 2 successes.
So, you get to snap his neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you do more damage than he has stamina. You just walk up to him and just damn near tear off his head. It's not very clean. But the man slumps to the ground.
Okay.
Through the smog, you see a faint spark as a few bullets fly past you. But do not hit you.
Okay.
The other man is wildly shooting in your general direction, screaming and backing away.
Would I be able to move quickly enough to kind of arc around him and get behind him?
Easily.
Okay. No, I'll do that and we'll go for attempt 2, Electric Boogaloo.
This guy's a defense of 2, so you lose 2 dice.
Okay. I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I lose 2, so I don't know if that would matter if you want to take those off, or I can just lose the 2 successes. Either way, it's still gonna.
Nope, that's fine, because the 1 and a 6 is what you would have got on a 9 dice roll, so.
Yeah.
This guy goes down a lot more cleanly. You just wrap your arms around him, muffle the screams, and silently end his life. You see the shadows that engulf you and these guards are swallowed back into Alicia's form. And she heads on over to the one you killed first. She takes in the smell of the blood and just going to lift up their neck and take a sip.
Nice work.
Thanks. I'm a little out of practice, as you can see. Audrey gestures to the first guy.
Well, let's get you back into it, huh?
After you. Audrey just kind of gestures to the door.
Say door, it's more like a shutter, really.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk up to the shutter and she's going to dig her fingernails into it and begin trying to violently lift it up. And you just hear it give an awful screeching sound as metal tears against metal, and she slowly pushes it up. At about as she pushes it halfway up, you see bullets rip through her, causing her to stumble back, but not fall over, and smile. If you peek your head down a little bit, or just crouch slightly, you can see 4 men in the interior, all guns out, ripping into Alicia.
Audrey's gonna do the dumb, and maybe the smart, but probably the dumb, and slide herself up under the door if it's already about, what, waist height up?
Yeah, it's about waist to chest height up.
Okay. And go ahead and try and take out probably the one dude and the farthest back in the room, if there is any particular way that they're standing.
Okay, what's your speed?
Oh, it's actually fairly decent. Hold on.
Even, yeah, because figure adds to it.
Size, yeah, because of size. So my speed is 11.
Okay.
And if vigor adds to that, then it would be 13.
Strength plus dex. Yeah, it'd be 13. Let me correct that for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, at a speed of 13, you're quite fast. You can charge one down.
Okay.
They all have a defense of 2.
Alright. That's 2.
Alright. So you smash one in the chest and he goes flying back. And struggles to get to his feet. He doesn't actually go down. But Lisia's gonna chime in this time. And she's just gonna casually sort of duck her head and go underneath the shutter. And in the blink of a moment, will zip on up to one with a speed of celerity. Pulls out a knife and repeatedly stab one in the chest. Let's see. Oh. That hurts. So she just stabs one in just a blur of strikes and just rips apart his body. His torso is nearly non-existent. There's just flesh and blood go flying in just violent sprays all over the floor.
Audrey may or may not be a little scaroused at the moment, but it's fine.
She's gonna toss you a knife.
Wonderful.
The thugs look stunned. They're in complete shock. They don't know what's going on. Thrown into walls. Super speed, super strength. What the hell? They're like, what the fuck is this? The fuck are these people? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Audrey just kind of smiles at the dude that she knocked backwards.
They'll fire some shots off. Your celerity is...
It is 1.
just 1.
Mm-hmm.
They actually have a half decent chance to hit you then. And they do. So one of them manages to nick you despite your super speed, catching your shoulder with a stray gunshot. You take 2 bashing.
Okay. Actually, let me look at something. It's in this book. Trying to look at mobilized outrage for a minute. Okay, cool.
Alright. So what you gonna do?
Well. Audrey's actually gonna, like, pocket the knife, just because she's better with her hands, and try and get up close to this guy and break his sternum with a good punch. You know, just shatter it inwards, puncture the heart, let him bleed internally. You know, the good stuff.
Make me an attack roll.
Okay.
7 dice.
Single success.
Do you use vigor?
Yes, that is the number with vigor. Oh, yeah, for the damage, yes.
Then you do manage to break his sternum. You almost punch straight into his chest. But you hear the unceremonious bone crack as his ribcage shatters. And he coughs up some blood, reaching for his weapon. But you just step on his neck and he dies. His body falling limp just as he's about to grab it.
So there are 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
One of them begins to run. Heading straight for the entrance.
Okay.
Alicia immediately grabs him and slams his head into the shutter, knocking him out completely before he can flee, leaving a horrible dent in the shutter.
Audrey gives her a golf clap before turning her attention to the last conscious man. And going up to break a leg.
Oh my god. Okay.
Listen, I need somebody to interrogate.
He just goes, who the fuck are you people? Just pointing a gun at you and just clearly shaking in terror.
Now, you can put that down, and maybe I won't kill you like I did your friend.
Get the fuck away from me. You fucking creep.
I'm sorry. I'm the creep, and you're the one pointing a gun at a pretty lady.
He's, do you want to roll, presence intimidation?
Okay. And Majesty adds to that, doesn't it?
No, Nightmare adds to intimidation. Majesty only adds to non-intimidation checks.
Damn. Okay. Nope.
Okay, he's gonna shoot you. It's another 2 bashing damage as he shoots you square in the chest.
Audrey just gives the man a very disappointed sigh. And if she can, just break his hand with the gun in it. So it can't shoot. Can't shoot if you have a broken hand.
Yeah, roll me your strength plus brawl.
Okay. Take defense off.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7. Four successes.
You just take his wrist and just turn it 120 degrees, causing a huge external fracture. As the man just lets out a horrific scream.
Oh, did I do that? Damn.
You can tell from your kindred senses that he's breathing extremely rapidly. Do you have any medicine?
I do, actually.
Okay, roll me in wits plus medicine.
Man, about to hyperventilate and pass out. No.
You can tell his breathing is extremely rapid, but also hollow. Or hollow. And his heart rate is spiking. At least she'll walk up to you. Her eyes becoming normal again. And she'll say, don't worry, remember? And she'll tap to her eyes again. We see everything.
I hope you're right.
She's gonna stare at the man. Gonna grab his face violently and shove it like within an inch of her own. And like just glare deeply into it. Tilts her neck slightly. What does Audrey want to know about this man?
Who they got their orders for? Or who they got their orders from? Or is this just about the man, like the individual themselves?
Okay. Let me roll something. Let me roll. She gets bonus dice because she touched him, which actually gives her bonus dice for all specs. Only one success. So she squints, a little bit annoyed, and will just violently shove him to the ground, which knocks him out but doesn't immediately kill him. These people worked for the Crane family. Old school London family. Like the Creighton twins back in the day.
I gotcha.
Not many of their breed left. If I recall, they got hit by those drug busts recently. couldn't tell much more though about the man. Odd. I'm usually a lot more precise than that. Oh well. I suppose I'm certain there's something we can find. She's actually just gonna look into his jacket and take his phone. Ah! Well, there we go. You're not half bad.
Thanks. The Audrey mimics like a vomiting motion was a neat trick.
Gift of the blood and all that. It's handy. My sire's a lot more skilled with it. She can make things from it. Can even trap people in it. Even become it if she wanted to be. I can only bring it forward.
Interesting.
But hey, you wanna fix, and she like points at your bullet wounds rather mockingly.
Yeah, I'll get to him later.
You know, I made myself an open target and you took almost as many rounds as me.
I wanted him to feel like he had a fighting chance.
They always think they have a fighting chance. You don't need to boost their egos any further. She's just gonna pick one up and she's just gonna sit down and just sort of place the body in her lap and take a drink from it. You see her wounds begin to heal. She'll wipe the blood off her face and use one of the jacket suits almost like a handkerchief.
Audrey will do the same. Probably the guy that she just broke a bunch of.
Can you actually roll me a humanity check?
Yeah, I guess.
The reason isn't actually because you killed these people. They're murderous gun traffickers. But you took a few gunshots. You should be dead. It's a reminder that you're no longer human. So it's a humanity 6 check. A humanity 6 check, I believe, is 3 dice plus your touchstone bonus.
So it would be 3 dice. And then, what is the touchdown bonus?
Touchdown bonus is +2 for 1 touchdown.
Yep, so it'd
Also,
be 5 dice.
As an aside, you gain +1 dice bonus because you weren't defending the masquerade, you were defending your requiem, i.e. your life.
Okay, so it'd be 6 dice total then.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, if you defend a masquerade in this game, you actually take a penalty to humanity checks.
F. Do I also get a willpower for letting myself get shot by just standing in front of this dude?
Absolutely.
For the masochist.
Yes.
Excellent. 3 successes on the humanity check.
Okay, so you gain a wanton condition. By indulging your desire for pain in a way that threatens your humanity, your beast rises to the surface, and although you do not lose your humanity, the beast does take the moment to push you towards wanting for the sake of wanting some sort of thrill. And so you find yourself urged by your beast.
Okay. How does that work with being a David and already having the wanton curse?
You're humanity 7, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're currently not under the wanton curse.
Okay, that's only if it drops below a certain thing.
If once you hit humanity 6, your clan curse triggers.
Okay.
And you can never remove it. But before that, you're still fine. Now, you do gain the wanton condition. The wanton condition is as follows. Your character wants for the sake of wanting. They're distracted with temptation of excess and indulgence. Any composure or resolve checks to resist temptation suffer a -2 dice penalty. As well, the character that brought forth this condition achieves exceptional successes on 3 successes instead of 5 on making any rolls to tempt your character. This, because it was your beast, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
This condition fades naturally after a number of nights equal to the blood potency of the vampire who caused it, which is 1 for you.
Mm-hmm.
And the resolution is to indulge in something that constitutes a breaking point.
Okay. But it only lasts 1 night, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You find the shadows begin to bend around Alicia. She leans back against one of the walls of the corpse and simply taps the back of her hand against the head, almost as if she's like playing with something in her hand, like a stress ball or a cigarette or something. Well, I guess we should look for more evidence of what this is for. We could always try interrogating the guy later, but, well, I don't want a loose end. It's kind of bad to have loose ends, really. And, well, we've already made enough noise.
Yeah.
I would check the phone, but I'm not really good at that sort of thing yet.
I've got a guy. Audrey just kind of holds her hand out.
Take a look at it. She'll toss it to you.
Audrey's gonna actually, like, take it and turn the phone off and pop the SIMS card out and then put both in her pocket.
Every now and again, Alicia will sip from the man. She seems to enjoy the sensation. But she's, well, kind of difficult to view from your perspective. She's surrounded in shadow. Almost pitch darkness where she is. The shadows have been drawn to her part of the room. Even your own.
While she does that, Audrey is gonna go, for lack of a better term, loot the other bodies. Look at wallets, see if there's any, like, guns and ammunition still that she can just take back with her.
Get some half-empty magazine, 3 half-empty magazines, 3 handguns, light pistols. You get their wallets, you get their IDs, you get their phones. If you begin looking around the locked, like large locked metallic cases in the room and stacked up on the shelves, like wooden cases and metallic cases. If you just break them open, you'll see that inside are assault rifles, shotguns.
Were there any keys for vehicles on any of the people?
Yes, you do find the vehicle key. Can you make a quick intelligence firearm check when checking some of the firearms?
Mm-hmm. One success.
Okay. So as you look around, you begin to see some interesting stuff, like some seriously messed up stuff. It's not just shotguns and assault rifles, but also IEDs, grenades, incendiaries. You even find a limited cache of dragon's breath. Stuff is basically unheard of in this part of the world. Certainly not practical to have. Stuff is expensive and, well, generally not as useful as just having just proper shot.
Yeah. So, if Alicia doesn't object, Audrey is going to go find the car and just start loading it up with some of the stuff, because she'll look at Alicia and be like, between you and me, I really don't want whoever's going to come back here and find this mess to also still have, she gestures at all the firepower.
Well, shit. Guess the cranes were more connected than I knew. Damn.
Yeah.
That's some pretty lethal firepower. Oh hey, I think I'll take some of this. She'll nab some of the Semtex.
Fair enough.
And an IED.
Just be careful with those, but I'm sure you already know that.
Sometimes people need taking down a peg, sometimes they need to see, and sometimes just people need to die.
Not wrong. But
It's a
yeah.
tragedy, but it's a fate people make for themselves, you know?
Yeah. Some asshole out there, I'm sure, says that we are the masters of our own fate, but I feel like that's probably only so true.
I find more people call me a complete bitch, but nah, it's just neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
What's that though? She looks at the shotgun and checks the dragon's breath. She seems very unfamiliar with it.
Something I'm gonna have to do a little bit more looking into, to be honest.
Never seen this before. Not that I'm super familiar with guns in general, but This looks unique.
It is. And Chris, can I make the assumption that that's probably also does lethal damage or something ridiculous to Kindred?
Oh, if somebody took a Dragon's Breath round via a shotgun, they're in a serious trouble. There's a good chance like a neonate would probably just get ashed in a single shot.
Gotcha. So,
So shotguns have double 9s on their attack check, and do +3 damage.
okay.
Which means if you're not a Kindred of Resilience, like this is literally like if a Kindred of shot of Dragon's Breath, it's as if they're being shot of an actual shotgun. Like if it were Wardle almost.
Yeah.
It would just rip them apart like an actual shotgun. And they would die like a regular mortal.
Got it. So, yeah. Audrey will just look at Alicia and be like, something that will kill even you and I, so I would rather... Audrey just kind of like closes the case slowly and goes to tuck it away and pack it up.
I should just literally sort of shake the improvised bomb in front of you and goes, well, so will this.
Yes! Yes, it will.
Should just sort of chuck it up and down and catch it. But we all need something to fill the time. And I'm sure my sack can think of a good way to use this. And if not, I certainly will.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm hoping we can replicate or make good use of some of this, especially with the upper management issue that we're gonna have here soon.
And I was just looking to fuck up some mobsters for a thrill.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you do actually have to do business before pleasure.
Well, I enjoy my work, so for me it's both. For these pricks, they've been plaguing Enfield. They've been plaguing Edmonton and the entire borough for years. They deserved what's been coming to them. It's kind of weird. You think people on the other side of the law, like you almost view them romantically, almost like Robin Hood or some shit, but most of the time they're just the same as the fucking government, really. Hell, the government's better. That's the depressing part.
Yeah.
All just a bunch of assholes looking for power at the expense of everybody else. I don't know why people put up with it.
Because they either don't know any better or don't want to deal with it themselves.
I think it's usually the latter. I find most people are just content to fucking it's like logs voting to be set on fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People too lazy or too scared to make a difference. Or too moral. God, they'll preach about that all the fucking time. But when they're out on the street or starving or being thrown in a prison, they'll stop talking about that the moment it becomes convenient for them.
Fair. But,
Yeah.
you know, like, give the Lankay a running chance, okay?
I don't really give a damn about the sanctified. They can do what they like. But I learned a long time ago, you have to put aside some of your morals if you want to get something done, if you want to make a difference.
Not wrong.
If you really want to stand by your principles, you'll be willing to fight for them. These people just fight for themselves.
Yeah.
Killing people that don't know any better. Well, sadly for them, they ran it at us.
Yeah, that's true. But before we go, do you wanna send a message?
To who?
Whoever's smart enough to read it.
You know, the Cranes. I want to send them a message.
Alright then.
They're gonna come investigating after their guys don't come back. She's gonna start spray painting the wall on the inside of the warehouse.
While she does that, Audrey will finish like packing up what is in there that she can safely transport. Air quotes, safely.
Alright. You begin transporting materials into the SUV. Once Alicia is done, she'll join you. So, what Kendra do you think's at the top of this shit show?
A little spider told me it's probably the man.
Wouldn't surprise me. Just want to know which one.
You and me both, friend. You and me both. Does the name Martin ring a bell?
Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Never heard
You're,
of a guy called Martin.
Interesting. Your mom mentioned him.
Martin who?
I can only assume he's probably a Maquette. Probably an Invictus. At least the way she talked about the Maquette bloodlines and referencing this person.
Huh. Actually, 1 second. She's gotta make a check.
Something about creating the bloodlines. I think that's right out of character.
I'm just gonna have a roll. doesn't have a lot of dice. Well, actually, she has a fair amount of dice in this. This is an occult check for her, so... Nah, don't remember. Name rings a bell. I think there was a guy called Martin that made a bloodline or something, but yeah. There's a lot of bloodlines in London, they're all over the damn place.
Not wrong.
Like me. Truth be told, I don't normally go that hard. Normally I just fuck up somebody's house or vandalize their car. You can actually make me a quick, you can make me a quick intelligence streetwise check, or wit streetwise.
Okay. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay, you don't quite... You remember something about a car? But you can't quite remember, it's on the tip of your tongue. Something about what she said, like, reminds you of something.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah. Really, I just want to remind the powers that be that they can't get complacent, you know? Because the moment they do, well... out come the fangs. If they're not even smart enough to know how to keep what they can hold, then they don't deserve to have it at all. It's bad enough that they don't know how to use it. Man, I remember when Stanford became the king, and everybody was crying from the rooftops about how this is a new era. Smart people need to shut the fuck up. There's never a new era of anything, it's just a circle.
Yeah. Stanford, I heard, actually used to stand for something before he sold himself out.
Well, I'll say this, he's smarter than the old prince. Better at playing the game, I can give him that. Still don't think he's got a fucking ounce of decency between his, between them though.
Probably right. I can hope you're wrong, but you're probably right.
I mean, really, these motherfuckers just want to play the game. Don't get... I say fuck the game. These games are for assholes. I'll play my own damn game. At least I enjoy it. What about you?
It's the little things for me. Anarchy, fixing cars, small pranks here and there.
I like a good prank every now and again.
Oh boy, have I got some ideas for you then.
Huh. Well, I have that bomb for a reason.
Ah. I see you and Foster have the same sense of humor.
A prank is only as funny as you're willing to go with it. gotta be willing to go the distance with it.
Audrey's just gonna laugh and nod her head in agreement, like, yeah, okay.
I'm hoping eventually enough kindred wake the fuck up and we can have an actual revolution for once.
You, me, and fucking EB Karth.
Yeah. I remember I really considered going coffeeing once. But the Sethites have done too much for me.
Well, I'm sure we could lend each other a hand every now and then. Audrey extends a hand to shake.
Are you driving?
Are we currently driving?
You can drive if you like.
Okay.
Sorry, I just kind of assumed that when she got in the car you started driving.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell if that was her getting in the car or helping with the car. Yeah, before they do leave, Audrey was gonna ask her if it was okay for her to like take a picture of the mural that she had just painted on that wall.
Fuck yeah, spread it around.
Will do. Yeah, so she'll snap a picture on her phone and then they'll take off. Yeah. I mean, Audrey can drive with one hand though, like going semi-decent speeds. She'll offer her non-dominant hands, that way like she can at least keep control of the wheel.
Yeah. It was nice to hang out with you. See if we can do it again sometime.
Yeah.
I know a few good spots where you can paint the town red. Literally and figuratively.
I don't know, I kinda like your black and white work you got going on here.
It was actually my side, I encouraged it. I mean, I was a street artist before. But, I guess you could say Set inspired me in his own way.
We all find our inspiration from somewhere, but you know, it gives you words. You do good work, so
Thanks.
I'm not complaining.
I like to think it's bringing life from a lifeless world. But that involves a whole lot of literature and scripture that neither you or I can be fucking bothered with. So, whatever.
Fair. Is Audrey taking Alicia home?
Can take her where you like.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take her. I guess she'll take her to wherever Alicia has said that she could be dropped off at.
Yeah. She just sort of thinks. She's like, you can drop me off in the rack if you like, it's really cool. She's actually quite happy for you to just take her wherever, to be honest. She just has her like 1 foot up on like the what do you call it?
The dash.
The dashboard, yeah. And isn't wearing a seatbelt.
Well. Damn, we don't have common sense checks in this video. So say, how much trouble would Audrey be in if she just took her back to Foster's with her? They're like, hey, look what we got.
Foster's like, you gotta stop bringing me randos. But given that this is a friend, he might at least have a word with her.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, because that if Alicia didn't have any more particular that they wanted to be dropped off, Audrey was gonna go to Foster afterwards anyways and be like, so this is a problem, and just open up one of the cases with the dragon's breath in it.
Okay. So you drive up on Foster's place and you just sort of walk up on him, just sort of working on the car. And he says, what do you fucking mean?
I mean, I've got weapons in the back of this SUV that, she looks around to make sure there are no mortals or, like, any ears that could potentially be a breach or a fucking rat. And, if there's nobody in the room, we'll look down at him and, like, try and get on his level.
There are some mortals here, so... he picks himself, he sort of, you know, he gets out from underneath the car and is just gonna stand up and he's just gonna be like, also, you gotta stop fucking rolling up on me, man.
Stay alert, stay alive, motherfucker.
Idiot. He thinks the elder here. You know, when you've been alive for over a century and a half, you can go tell me that.
Yeah, old man. Just come on. Audrey just gestures to, like, I guess the SUV so we can see what the fuck she's brought.
Your point, Alicia. Also, who the fuck's this? You know, you don't need to introduce me to all your fucking boyfriends and girlfriends. I don't give a shit.
Audrey just kind of looks at Alicia with this expression of, do you want to introduce yourself?
She just quirks an eyebrow, at Foster and says, I'm Alicia and I ain't your kid's fucking girlfriend, Jesus Christ. Ouch, Chance, you hear that? Just got turned down. The fuck?
Listen, I can't collect them all.
But that rarely happens. Alright, well, why don't you two show me what you got? Better be good though. I'm kinda fucking busy, I'm not sure if you realize this out. Trying to keep an entire movement running here.
Audrey just makes this very frustrated face, just like... Alright, well cool, if you want to keep your movement alive. After you, old man. She's gonna go around to the back of the SUV, open it up, and open up one of the cases, like I said, with the dragon's breath in it, and the shotgun.
He's gonna make a check. He's okay with guns.
Yeah. If he doesn't know what it is, she'll explain.
I haven't seen that shit since, since I was in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Way back when I was in New York. Don't really see that sort of merchandise here.
Correct. Because it's fucking expensive. And who can afford these kinds of things?
I don't know, I could think of about a dozen different people who got a dozen different fucking entities that could. London's not exactly the city of the poor and the malnourished. I mean, I guess it depends on where you go. But you know, it's kind of known for being where all the fucking rich kids live.
Yeah. And all the rich assholes who like to rig car races and potentially kill people.
I get where you're going with this, but you're gonna need some hard proof of that. And even if you did, what would we be doing about it? It's worrying. If they're getting stuff like this, it looks like they'd be stockpiling for some sort of conflict. And if it's a us, well, we gotta nip that shit in the bud. But I don't think Stanford would do that. There's no reason to go back on the very peace we made with him. And him breaking it, well, I mean, even his own fucking sect would disagree with that. They take code of honor and all that shit very seriously. Hell, he made them take it seriously. The old guard, they didn't give a fuck.
Audrey's gonna look over at Alicia and then look back to Foster and be like, so what do you know about, is it the Crane or Cray family?
The Crays? God, I could tell you a lot about the Crays, but, I mean, they're both fucking dead. No, I assume you mean the Cranes. Cranes are an old crime family, and still exist in London. Not a whole lot like them anymore, really. Most groups in London like that, well, they're not really families, they're more like businesses. A lot of them foreign. You got a lot of street gangs as well. But a lot of the old families tend to deal in more white collar shit nowadays. Cranes still do things pretty old school.
Well, that's who these used to belong to.
They do a lot of gun running. The DB's sort of, well, I mean, fucking no one buys DB. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might need to get in touch with the Cranes then. Because if they're involved in this, I want to see who else is involved in this. The Cranes treat their guns like drugs. They don't get high on their own supply. They're not gonna use the shit they want to sell.
Yeah, but who are they gonna sell it to? That's what concerns me.
And that's the answer you need to get for me. I'm glad you brought it to me, though. I appreciate that.
Where the fuck else was I gonna take it? To Ben? god, he'd have a fucking aneurysm.
I mean, are you gonna tell Ben?
She just... But... What do you think? Oh, Ben. You know, I just went and killed a bunch of people. By the way, I found guns that literally with one shot could kill both you and me and turn us into a pile of ash.
Didn't you get the when you gotta give Ben the phone so he can spirits touch it? Lol.
Yeah.
KW. Lol.
Yeah. Audrey's just gonna take one of them and set it aside, and then I guess like put it in one of the passenger seats. Set it aside.
What's that?
One of the guns.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you need from me? How can I help you with this?
Well, I assumed you could use these. Gestures again to the illegal firearms. And also, I guess, do we have a contact for the fucking cranes?
My guys are connected. You might not want to give away that you were the ones who took their shit though. They find that out, and well, the cranes are old school. They still have a lot of fucking members. And as big and beautiful as I am, I can't look out for you if an angry mob decides to shoot down the doors to your house during the day, you know?
Fair enough.
Yes, I wouldn't advise shaking down or killing the guy. He probably wouldn't even meet with you. Probably get someone else to do it. But I know people who know people who know people, you know. They could set something up for you.
As is the way with Elder 3D chess.
It's not 3D chess, it's just fucking knowing people.
I'm working on it.
What, the 3D chess or knowing people?
Porque no las dos.
You already made a new acquaintance today, a new friend.
Yeah. She just kind of like nudges Alicia with her elbow. I'm sure Alicia and I here will have lots of fun together.
Well, you kids go have fun.
Okay, love you, Dad.
Alicia just goes, you know, I should introduce you to my mom sometime. She just says as she goes to sort of walk off with you.
Yeah? Fair. Why? Audrey seems a little concerned.
No, I was making a fucking joke.
Oh, okay.
Your dad's a dick.
He is not.
Fucking whatever, baby girl. He's alright. For an oldie.
He just wants to work on his fucking cars.
He's more down to earth than my sire is.
He's more down to earth than a lot of us, for being honest.
Yeah. So, when you, when you learn about, whoever sold that fucking shit, I'm gonna keep going, you know, I'm gonna keep doing my own thing, you know, I'll look for other places.
Sounds good.
I wasn't really expecting to find much there, to be honest. You know, I knew there were guns, and that the people who were running it were fucking sadistic fucking serial killers, but, you know, didn't expect this weird conspiracy shit. I wanna see if there's more. I might need to check in with my sire as well.
Sounds good.
She'll be right pleased with you. Doing God's work, she'll say.
Audrey just kind of looks like, I don't know if I should be happy with that response, or... I'm gonna go with pleased. As long as we don't get caught.
She's not wrong, you know. She might come across as kind of crazy, but she's not wrong. Usually the people who look the most crazy are the ones who are the closest to being right in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. What? Which parts? There's a lot of crazy there.
She'll get into, do you have another car, or do you just get into the SUV?
Audrey is not taking the SUV. There was probably a spare vehicle lying around. And if Foster wouldn't let her have keys, she'd probably hotwire it herself.
Alright, yeah, he'll loan you a vehicle.
Okay.
I guess it depends. What kind of crazy? What sort of crazy? What part of the crazy?
Oh, demons and towers and she just kind of like goes on from there.
Okay, you're gonna need to sort of fucking elaborate. Like, I see shit, but you're gonna need to sort of lay it out for me.
Audrey will relay the vision that Nanette has had.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
God, it's you, Ben, Nanette. Who fucking else?
Some of us in our blood see things. Sort of glimpses of the future. Sometimes the past, but usually the future. Usually it's about the futures we're gonna have. Not a big grand thing like this. I think my clan might need to have a talk about it.
Can I ask a favor and be kept in the loop?
Because I like you. And while you're doing God's work and all that.
Yeah. Bless my soul.
Bless your soul.
You want me to drop you at your mom's house, or you got a place to stay?
I got a place.
Alright.
Yeah. Just an apartment in Haringey.
Okay. Well, let's make sure we make it in time.
We still
Time
got a
to
few
drive.
hours.
But gotta go fast.
You go as fast as you like.
Audrey is definitely going to test this vehicle, if it's one she has not driven before.
It's a pretty fast car.
Mm.
The fastest you've driven, but it's up there.
Nothing will be as beautiful as that Opal. Rest in peace, car.
Bye-bye, car.
It didn't go bye-bye, but that's probably the last time Foster let Audrey touch it. Cool. Yeah, she'll take her home and then head home to Ben. Bust down the door, be like, Ben, have I got some shit for you?
Yeah. She'll thank you for a fun night out in the town. A red town is a good town as far as she's concerned.
Yeah.
And, well, you just happen to have her favorite color hair.
Aww.
Yeah. She'll head home, back to her haven to rest, sleep during the day, and so will you.
Yeah.
And with that, we can end the scene there. Thank you, Persephone. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye bye.